Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a tool which is going to take your currency making skills to the next level. So I previously had just heard rumors about this. I hadn't actually downloaded it myself, but oh man, after my friend told me how it worked and got me to get it, I can currently say that it's made me a ton more currency, and that's not an over exaggeration. And in this video, I'm going to show you how it works, where you can get it, and how it's made me all that money. So let's get started. What is the tool I'm talking about? The tool I'm talking about is called Awakened PoE Trade. It's been around for a little bit here, but I've only just recently gotten my hands on it, and I gotta say it's completely changed the way I view the game and play the game. So currently, looking up items to sell or price checking, the price of exalts, price checking the price of maps, all these things, they can be quite an arduous task, and you kind of can get quite lazy and just leave stuff in your stash. There has been other trade macros that have been able to allow you to look up prices quick, but they've been quite slow and they've lacked the detail and functionality that this one does. And we're going to go into that functionality, trust me. So on a surface level, what this tool allows you to do is basically hit a hotkey. My one is on tilde, and it just brings up a full-on display of everyone selling a similar item to you, how many stock they have, and how long ago it was listed, and their pricing ratio. So if you're selling exalts and you want to see a pricing ratio, you can see, okay, the cheapest guy right now, 7 minutes ago, he's got one, and he's listed one of them for 65 for one chaos. Now, what we really should be looking at here is the guy with 80 here at 70. So you probably would list yours at 70 chaos because this guy listed his at that price and he has 80 of them, but it was 1 minute ago. So you can see here, this gives you all the information you need to make a really good decision, how much you want to sell your item for. And in the terms of exalts, it's quite a good one indeed. You can also do this for pretty much every currency. You could do it for ancient orbs. Let's just take a quick look. Okay, 10 to 1, so they're worth 10C. There's no one who really has a lot of bulk though. So this guy's got 4. You could do it with rogue markers. So it looks like you get 89C buys 50K. You get the kind of idea here. It's very, very good for very quickly looking up currency items and simple items. Like you can look up the tropical islands, as we said, and all that good stuff. But it doesn't stop there. So on a very, very low level, this is already going to make your life a lot easier. It's by far the best tool for searching stuff up quickly. You don't have to look on PoE Trade. You can get the price easy. You can stay in game and you can keep playing and price a tab really, really fast, which is fantastic. And it's really good for pricing stuff like uniques. Like let's take a look at this barracks grip. Okay, so 3 chaos. And here's where I'm going to take it to the next level. So it does not only save you time, but it also gives you the ability now to filter your item based on its roles. So for unique items, let's say that we take a look at the roles here. It actually shows you the roles with these bars as well. So you can see here we have a pretty good roll on this cold damage, pretty bad roll on the lightning, and some pretty good life here. So if we wanted to filter by any of these mods, we can simply tick the boxes, and it's going to look for items which are similar to ours with the stats that it is ticked. So let's say that the most important modifiers on this ring are the cold damage and the life. This is going to look for only rings which have at least as much or more cold damage and life than our ring. And you can see here, it's still a pretty similar price. So pretty interesting there. Now let's look at an item where we can take this to the next level. So we have some Hands of the High Templar here, right? We got some pretty high-end item. Now let's take a look at this price of this item if we don't filter by anything. So if you just look up Hands of the High Templar right now, it's going to be 10C. But I know for a fact that my Hands of the High Templar are worth more. How much more is the question? Well, we need to pick on the mods which are important here. So for my gloves here, I know that the really important mods that make this item special are the elemental weakness on hit and the spell critical strike chance. So if I tick these, now I suddenly get a picture. There's only 2 pairs listed right now, and they're 10 and 12 exalts. So I can quickly now assess the situation, and do I want to put it for 10 exalts? I can put it for 9.5. Both of these were listed fairly recently, so I think I'd probably put it at 10 or 12 exalts, wouldn't I? Because they seem to be selling fairly quickly. So pretty interesting, and you can take it to the next level as well. Let's turn them all on, and I'm sure this is probably the only pair. Yep, this is the only pair available with perfect-ish rolls and those two mods. But if you really want to get a good picture of how expensive or how quickly your item will sell, you should try and tick as least amount of these boxes as possible, but don't tick so few that you underprice your item. So the less you tick, the less the price will be. The more you tick, the more specific it's going to get, and the more expensive it will be. So you kind of do have to have a bit of game knowledge, but this really cuts down the learning curve, and it's going to allow you to sell your item way faster. You're not going to have to punch in filters on the trade website. You're not going to have whoops. You can just reprice it every time you want with the smash of one key on your keyboard. Completely insane. So definitely very good there. So now that we kind of understand that we have these kind of modifiers here, what if there was items which did have these modifiers, but they weren't as good of a roll? Well, we want to take a look at that as well. So let's quickly ramp down the price here. Maybe, is there a way to ramp this down? There's not. So we can take that down. This isn't probably a very good item to show you that. But let's take a look at this Circle of Anguish, shall we? So the important mods here are going to be the Fire Damage and the Herald of Ash. So we'll quickly take a quick look there. So 9.9 exalts. But these rolls are insane. So let's take these down to base. So you can see now that it goes down to 9 exalts. So really, if you wanted to sell this item quick, you'd go and, even though your rolls are good, you'd lowball the rolls, and you could kind of put it up for 9 exalts. But if you wanted to make like kind of an accurate assessment on your rolls, you could highball it and sell it for a little bit more, most likely. If you had max rolls, it's probably still going to be, okay, it's still 9 exalts, but you kind of get what I mean, guys. It's pretty interesting indeed. So that's kind of the thing here. Now, we've talked about uniques, we've talked about maps, we've talked about currency, we've talked about selecting specific modifiers. We'll do one more for kicks here. We'll do this this bad boy here. So what if we wanted to look at this one here, this mod here? So this one's worth at least 1 chaos. Great. What about this rogue marker one? Yeah, okay, so none of the mods on that are too good, but yeah, pretty interesting. So moving right along, let's take a quick look at the real big benefit here, the thing that's going to take your currency making to the next level. Now, previously in past leagues, I've never really been a big crafter. I haven't been into it, and the primary reason for that is I never know what to price my rare items for, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to look up on PoE trade, I don't want to go through all of the filters, I don't want to whoop items, and that really has been the barrier to entry for me for getting into crafting for profit. Now with this tool, I immediately knew that I would be able to get into it. And the reason for that is I roll an item and I have a pretty good idea that it's a good item, but I don't know how much it's worth. So for example, this Var Regalia, it has 587 energy shield, you know, it's a 6 link. How much is this worth? Well, you really couldn't tell unless you were an expert trader or you really had a lot of market knowledge or you dug into the trade website. But with this, smack the key. I know that the important role here is the energy shield and maybe the resistances are relevant. So right now I'm the lowest. There's one for 200 chaos. Let's say we didn't go with the resistances though. We wanted a quick sale. So 165 chaos. I could lowball it, no resistances, and kind of try and sell it just purely off the energy shield alone. But already I have a fantastic idea of what kind of price to list my item for. So when you're making fossil items like crafting, when you're chaos spamming, when you're IDing rares, all of these things, you're now going to have a tool which will immediately tell you how much your item is worth. It's going to price check it as long as you know what mods are important on it, and you can kind of pick it out and stuff like that. It's very powerful, and it's just so fantastic. Now, one more tip I want to give you guys is, so let's say you really wanted that quick sale and you wanted to really check. You can, of course, modify these again, like we did say before, but I do this quite a lot, especially on rare items. So let's say 587, that's pretty high. Let's say if it was 550, how much is a 550 one? So you can see it's considerably less than the 587. So you could kind of put it at that point and really adjust the pricing to be competitive. Now, of course, if you want to go into even more and dig in, you can actually just quickly pull up an exact window of all of the items you're looking for as well in the game window. So here I can take a look at the competition, and we can see, okay, this guy's got resistance on it, it's 551, so we could probably easily beat that and put it at 130 and then buy ours instead. So pretty cool, and it's definitely going to be fantastic for that. So with all that said, guys, hopefully you guys have kind of gained a bit of insight into this tool. Again, it's called Awaken PoE Trade. I couldn't recommend it more, and it really is going to be the gateway to you not only selling your items quicker, gaining more game knowledge about what is worth what, and allowing you to finally price check your own items quickly, something I could never do before. So super cool, and I just find myself clicking on absolutely everything. Like, let's click on this helmet. So we know that there's Power Charge and Unleash are the important mods. Cool, so I know this is just instantly 5.8 exalts at the minimum. What if we put this resistance on there as well? Okay, so that's still 5.8, so now I know. Pretty interesting indeed, and you really can get a very good idea. What if I put this BV on there as well? Interesting. Why does that go down? Oh no, it goes up, my bad. So yeah, with the BV enchant on there, it's worth considerably more. So that's pretty interesting indeed. Very cool. So, with all that said, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you're interested in crafting, I have been doing a little bit of it on stream, so you guys can maybe pick up some tips and tricks. We've been doing exploded chest pieces as well as energy shield gear, and it's been selling pretty well. So pretty cool indeed. With all that said though, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.